Let's spend a moment to look at case feed configuration and customization. Now I'm in a case, this is our previously created tweak case, and I've got the feed up here at the top, and we've got different actions for post, email, and poll. I'll get into some of these actions in the next lecture, specifically adding or removing the email action from the case feed. But I wanted to show you how to edit and customize the case feed on the page layout here. Now I'm in Lightning Experience, and so if you click on the setup icon, you could click Edit Page. That takes you to the app builder to do Lightning page customization. But I want to click on Edit Object. This is a way to quickly go into the case object in the object manager inside of Lightning Experience. I had a student recently point that out as a quick shortcut because I was going a convoluted way to get to the object from this sort of scenario. And so it's very helpful learning from my students and learning new tips and tricks inside of Lightning as well, because it's kind of new for all of us in a way. So I'm going to click Edit Object, and this will take me to the Object Manager for the case object. So that's a nice quick way to get there. And then if I go into Page Layouts, and that's Case Page Layouts, let's click on Case Layout. So now let's adjust the case feed by clicking the Feed View link here in the Page Layout Editor. Clicking Feed View brings up the case layout screen, and it's here that we can do the feed view options, such as enabling full width feed view in the console. That's checked by default, and you can hover over this to give you more information on what happens when you select that option. You can also enable compact feed view in the console. You can also highlight externally visible feed items. And then as far as publisher options, you can use Page Layout Editor to configure actions, and these are checked by default, so I'm going to leave these as well. You can also automatically collapse the publisher, and then you can also do things as far as customizing the log a call action fields, and this adjusts the behavior of some of the actions available in the case feed. And one of the common ones is being able to log a call. So for example, you could have some of these fields available whenever you log a call in an action such as account name. You could have contact phone number, subject, for example, and then change status action fields. And so you can select the different action fields whenever you change a status. They also recommend you use no more than 4 fields. For example, this could slow down agents. So for changing status, you could move some of these over to the selected area. Email actions as well. I'll get into this in the next lecture because we're going to be adjusting the email actions in the case feed. And then as well, we can do these different case feed tools. The only tool we have available is the article tool, and that's already selected. Then for article tool settings, we can enable PDF attachments. We can enable attaching articles inline and use case feed articles tool in the console. There's a lot of other settings here that we're not going to go into that get into like Visualforce pages. You can hide the sidebar, and then as well feed filter options. And a lot of this is just making you aware that these exist. You don't have to memorize every single one, but having some familiarity to what you can adjust in the case feed. So these feed filter options, you can have filters appear as a fixed list in the left column. You can do floating or drop down or inline links in compact feed view in the console. And then you can select the different filters that you can show, and I'm going to add a few more of these: attached articles, community answers, and live chat transcripts. I'll try to show some of this here in a moment, so click Save. And then as well, this highlights panel is something that shows up more in Salesforce Classic than in Lightning, but you can actually adjust the highlights panel, and you've likely seen this as you've been working through this course, this gray box at the top of cases that has customer information, case information, and status information. Clicking the gear icon, you can adjust some of these settings here. And the way you do this is you click on the different boxes and it'll give you the different options. So for example, it has the case number and the created date, and then you can have field 3 be something different if you wish. I'm going to leave those the defaults though. And so for status, we've got the different fields for status, priority, case owner. You could add a 4th field here if you want, but I'm just going to leave all that alone. And then just click OK when you're done making your adjustments to the highlights panel. And then as well, here's some of the quick actions in Salesforce Classic. And then here are the actions available in Salesforce Mobile and Lightning Experience. These are the predefined actions in Salesforce. You can override this to adjust these by clicking Override the Predefined Actions link. And then the Mobile and Lightning Experience actions display, and you can adjust these accordingly. Now, if you notice, we've got log a call in both Classic and Lightning Experience. We also have email here. We'll get into the email action further in the next lecture, but I wanted to show you how you can adjust these to be specific or different between Classic and Lightning Experience as well. And then further down you get into the traditional case details information. So just as a reminder, a recap on this particular lecture is that we accessed the feed view settings through the feed view link, and then we also adjusted the highlights panels. The quick actions in Classic we reviewed, and then we overrode the default settings for Lightning Experience. We haven't made any changes here, but if you wanted to do so, you could select quick actions here on the left, and that corresponds with the Classic quick actions, or you could click mobile and Lightning actions, and those correspond with these mobile and Lightning Experience actions. So if you wanted to remove some of these, you can just click and drag them up to the top, and then that way you can kind of declutter the available actions if you don't need them in mobile and Lightning Experience. So I'm going to click save, and let's look at this case now, or return to this case, and we'll probably look at it in Lightning and in Classic as well. And so, for example, if I go into my Service Console for Lightning Experience from the app launcher, you can pull up your case, and mine was 1029, and that was that tweet case. And so we've got our different actions here in the feed. So let's go into Salesforce Classic and look at this case. So we have the feed view here at the top of the case, and this is taking up the full width of the console here, if you notice as well. And you may need to collapse your knowledge sidebar if that's in your way, but once you collapse that, you'll see here this highlights panel. It's important to note that this is called the highlights panel, and that may appear on your exam, so be familiar with what that verbiage is. And remember, you can customize this. We did that previously. You have the customer information, the subject, the details here, and you can add additional fields as well. And then we've got our different actions in this case feed. We've got post, email, log a call, and then more actions here as far as poll, link, file, change status. Then as well, you've got these feed filters, and if you click on these, it'll filter by the different designations here, and these are customizable as well, so you need to be familiar with the ability to do that. And so you've got your different call logs and case notes, status changes, etc. And so if you were to click log a call, for instance, it has the details where you can make the note for the call, and then you can customize this log a call feature as well, and just clicking log a call will record that. So let's go back into edit layout here and go back to the feed view. And so we saw here log a call action fields. Let's add some of these. We didn't do this previously. I'm going to have account name and case owner, and let's do priority as well. Now I'm just kind of picking some things at random here, but let me click save, and then we'll go back and log another call and see the differences. So now if I close out my page layout editor, let me go back to case 1029, and I previously logged this call that I just did just previously. So if I click log a call again, we now have additional fields, the ones that I just selected, and this is what this looks like inside of the case feed inside the actions here. So log a call is customizable from the feed view on the page layout editor, and this is for reference to show the user, okay, the case owner, the account name, and the priority, and you can make some adjustments right here inside of the log a call. And let's say that there was some issue on this case and we need to make this priority high, and I'm just going to say he's upset and say log a call. You could also drive actions off of this as well. You could, for example, create a workflow rule, and whenever priority is set to high on a case, you could do things like trigger other actions through either workflow rules or process builders, flows, etc. And so in the next lecture, we're going to deal with customizing further this email action inside of the case feed.